everyone! How's it going? It's Monday. I hope if you had a good weekend, you had a good weekend. If you had a good long weekend, that's even better. I didn't. In any case, we don't have a doll here today. We have this little guy. I gave in to internet peer pressure and bought myself a peepee. His name is George Washing Machine. Yep, hurrah, peer pressure. Okay, let's get things started. Yeah, he's a cute little criminal, all right. So, how did everybody do this weekend? I did not stream on Saturday because found out at the absolute last minute that there was a pay-per-view. Alright, so let's get right back into it. We are going to do a new story just because of the fact that our psychic investigators keep on dropping like flies. The Missing Stars. Media reports on various people with seemingly supernatural skills. Could it have any connection with the news about stars disappearing from the night sky? Okay, so it just sounds like the king of all cosmos has gone on to another bender. Alright, so it looks like we've got a new spell, Invisibility, and my medical history, brittle bones run in your family and you spent each summer in a cast. You start with extra experience and bandages, but each damage can cause an injury. We keep on getting this a lot. Okay, I need to step out for a moment. I will be right back. Sorry about that, folks. Needed to make a bathroom break. Anyway, alright, so Alright, we're getting ready to investigate our next mystery. Let's see what's happening on TV. Local dentist has been found guilty of implanting dog teeth on their human patients. Motive is currently unknown. Okay, we've got our selection of inexplicable and morbid events. Vicious verses of a violent vigil. Chilling chronicle of a crimson cape. Rotten report of a rancid ramen. Spine-chilling story of school scissors. Bizarre brute of the blood-curdling botanist. Alright, so I think what we'll do is, since we've not had this one before, I am going to select Vicious Verses of a Violent Vigil. You've received an official-looking letter. What does a law firm from Tokyo want from you? We regret to inform you of the passing of our client and your granduncle. His funeral will be preceded by an overnight vigil as per the client's request. There is an address in the list of people expected to arrive. You don't recognize any of the names. Intrigued, you decide to check it out yourself. What's the worst thing that could happen? Following the directions from the letter, you slowly fight your way through the overgrown forest path. The old mansion looks like it was torn down and rebuilt many times, but where is everybody? Following a suspicious person, you enter an old rundown mansion room. It stinks like spoiled milk and has only 2 doors, one of which you came through. You can't see the strange man anywhere. Huh? There's nothing really important here, but you think you might be able to use the one item you do find, a library book. Long overdue. It takes you some time, but finally you manage to find someone. Is that another guest? You should ask them what's going on in here. 4 actions on the right allow you to investigate the location and interact with it. Okay, so those are the locations, so let's see who that is. Hawado, weird fiction writer. A pair is standing next to a window. The man is muttering something to himself while his wife is observing you with her unnaturally bulgy eyes. The body is laid in the master bedroom. You should pay him your respects. There's a local legend about a heartbroken seamstress. One stormy night, she broke into a local inn and stitched the unsuspecting guests together. Her final, gruesome artwork. But that's just a legend, right? I found you at last! Pressing a handkerchief to your nose, you enter the dark room. There's no way they allowed your granduncle to just lie here. What was the correct bow and clap order? Blah! What was the correct bow and clap order? Maybe other guests will know? As you return to the corridor, you notice another family member has arrived. You notice all guests are studying small cards. You should ask them about it. Akane, young Harris. Young woman wrinkles her nose when she notices you. You can swear you've seen the symbol engraved on her necklace before. You didn't get this with a letter? Here, take mine. We would like to thank you on behalf of our client for participating in this vigil on such short notice. He was a spiritual person and left instructions we are asking you to follow closely. Okay, so 9 p.m. start of the vigil, 10 p.m. pray over the body, bow, 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 clap, modest supper, pray over the body, bow, 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 burn an envelope, something, something, cover the mirror in the storage room, end of the vigil. Okay, so it's 10 p.m., so we need to go into the master bedroom and bow, 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 clap. Okay. Bow, 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 clap. You think you got the order right. Inspect his foot. You copy... There's a weird symbol tattooed on the man's toe. You copy it onto your pamphlet. the mirror, you catch a glimpse of something that shouldn't be there. Okay, 11 p.m., modest supper. The smell is nauseating, but you put some meat on your plate. Oh god, it's that stuff again! All family members are cautiously eyeing the smelly dishes placed on a table in the corner of the room. Ugh. Crap. Do I eat it? Oh, snap. A new injury, hunger. What, -1 to charisma? They look tasty. Okay, so 12 a.m. I need to pray over the body. You feel watched. You retreat from the room. Okay. So I need to bow, 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 bow. The body! It's missing. It seems someone has already removed all the furniture from this room. The overgrown plant is casting an unsettling shadow. You shudder instantly, recognizing the room from a newspaper photo. 3 years ago, a man hanged himself here. Why is a vigil held in a place like this? You found a new item, meat cleaver. Where is everybody? The investigation is taking a toll on you. You start to miss out on the most obvious leads. You manage to find one of the guests. They are shaken, but otherwise safe. You both decide to get the hell out of this place, but the door is gone. This reminds me of one of my books. In the middle of the room, you see a man tied to a chair. You rush in to help. When you remove his gag, though, the man starts shouting curses and ancient prophecies. You fall on the floor, your mind flooded with unspeakable images as the man slowly stands up, completely ignoring the chair he was seemingly tied to. Wait, what's that? A curious statuette. +1 knowledge while held in the inventory. Corridors twist and turn, trapping you in this mansion. You think you can hear the other guests somewhere, but should you risk getting lost yourself? Okay, so we need to somehow burn an envelope. Kill them. It takes you some time, but you finally find an envelope. Following the instruction, you burn it without opening. You feel weird following obscure orders. Okay, so we've burned the envelope at 2 a.m., and now we need to cover the mirror in the storage room at 3 a.m. The other guest is now safe with you. The whole building cracks and moves. You're scared of what will come next. The whole building begins to shake as you enter the room. Suddenly, a stone pillar bursts through the floor where you stood just seconds ago. Noticing the arcane symbols painted on the stone, you take a step closer. You recognize some of the symbols from a stone tablet you saw at the museum. What's the connection? As the vigil is nearing its end, the whole mansion shakes more and more until the walls start to collapse, revealing the shocking truth about your whereabouts. Walls of the corridor collapse, creating an alien landscape. You can taste blood in your mouth as the slimy appendages slowly get closer. A voice in your head tells you what to do. Sacrifice the guest. Carve the cursed symbol. The bloated corpse of your uncle slowly floats into the room as the remaining walls collapse. The contract is not over yet. Horrible old man cheated death twice. Oh boy. You shift into the Shadow Realm! Contract is void. A voice booms in your head as everything gets dark. When you wake up, you find yourself lying in the grass, an old mansion nowhere to be seen. Next to you are the other guests, as confused as you. Everything feels like a bad dream. Was the man claiming to be your granduncle really trying to cheat death itself? You and the other family members finally exit the forest and leave the nightmare of it behind. One thing is certain, though. You will never open letters from law firms from Tokyo. Alright, and it looks like we got ourselves another level. So we've got art knowledge for perception, a hot bath to improve resting at home, and dexterity. Let's see. I think what I will do is I will take hot bath, and I will take another point in charisma. The old god stirs. Freaky flood. Did the water level suddenly increase, or is our city slowly sinking? Exploring the seaside location has a chance of inflicting drenched status. Alright, we got ourselves our first key. Let's take ourselves a hot bath. Let's see. Do we want cold water for reason, warm water for experience, or hot water for stamina? Let's do the reason. There we go. Alright, so let's see what's on the telly. The dog teeth one again. Okay, so let's do the spine-chilling story of school scissors. Another boy from your school has disappeared. Rumor has it a terrible woman has returned from the grave. A woman with the widest smile and the sharpest scissors. You knew your friend was up to something when he left you his notebook full of cryptic notes. I can send her back where she belongs, he claimed. After he disappeared too, you decided to study the notebook for clues. It details a ritual that can stop the wicked woman once and for all. What's the worst thing that could happen? The school is eerily quiet at this hour. Your missing friend has left you a notebook. If the rumors are true, to stop the tall woman with scissors, you'll need to perform a ritual to force her material form to appear in our dimension. Accomplishing this requires first the drawing of an eldritch sigil, and then the lighting of holy candles. You can only hope your friend has left them somewhere around the school. Need a tiny key to open the door. Baseball bat! Whoa! This door shouldn't be there. It shouldn't lead anywhere. More importantly, it shouldn't pull you in. You force yourself to leave the mysterious door behind. You feel like something terrible is happening within the school. You must hurry and find those items. You enter the art workshop. The room is cluttered with half-finished sculptures and bizarre masks hanging on the wall. One sculpture strikes you as being eerily realistic. The head of one sculpture looks so lifelike you move closer and raise your hand nervously to touch it. It falls off. A headless person stumbles out of the sculpting classroom and it's reaching for your head! Uh-oh. Found an additional page from your friend's diary. It seems that the blessed chalk was left on the roof. You must hurry and find it. To open the door, click on the handle and drag the mouse with the mouse button pressed. Huh! Something is wrong. Instead of a clear blue sky, you see the bloated corpse of a long-forgotten deity looming over the school's roof. The barrier between worlds is coming apart. You must hurry or risk being noticed by whatever other eldritch horrors still lurk here. You succeed in grabbing the backpack and return to the staircase leading back to our world. Okay, so we found the sigil. Okay, so that's not the right sigil, so let's go back. There we go. Suddenly, everything slows to a crawl. A time warper. The sound of scissors is getting louder. You must hurry. People point and talk about a man on the other side of the street. He looks confused, muttering to himself while occasionally touching a festering wound on his cheek. You stop in your tracks and listen to the man's cursed incantation. You've learned a new spell, Abolish. Alright, so Abolish. Lowers eldritch enemy damage by 1. Cost 3 stamina. Okay, so we got the ritual ready. Wait, what's that? The sigil and holy candles don't seem to have any effect on the horrible monster. Had you drawn it wrong? Frozen in fear, you watch as the twitching horror gets closer and closer. It raises its enormous scissors and croaks. Am I beautiful? Twisting and twitching, the demon woman enters the classroom, cackling menacingly. Am I beautiful? You've defeated Scissor Woman. Ancient horror lies dead on the classroom floor, slowly dissolving into nothingness. The only thing left of her are the large scissors. You stare at them, unsure what to feel. Something tells you you want to keep them. You need them. Very slowly, you pick up the scissors, and your mouth widens in a smile. Scissor Woman is gone for good, or is it? You shudder, knowing the urban legend will inspire another kid in another city to try and summon the eldritch being. Alright. The old god stirs. The imposing shadow casted by the old lighthouse is getting longer each day. Alright, so we got the key. And let's see, we are going to heal our stamina. So, yeah, we also need to go to the hospital, so let's check out our mysteries and... Alright, so this is the mystery with Shiro-san, the gardener, and the husband missing. You hear a faint sound while walking outside the biology classroom. Inside is an old anatomy model, its heart beating. The sight almost makes you sick. Impossible angles and seemingly moving lines make your head spin. How is this possible? A new yet identified species of the cordyceps fungus has been observed to infect rats, taking over their bodies. Could it have the same effect with other mammals? Walking through the park, you find a little girl crying alone in the playground. When you ask what's wrong, She says that she can't find her mommy. Luckily, you spot the girl's address on a backpack lying nearby. Take her home or let the police handle it. I'm gonna be nice and take her home. You offer to take her home. When you get there, the terrified mother slams the door in your face. From behind the girl door, she starts screaming to get the girl away. The little girl calmly tells you that she can take it from here. Alright, let's see here. Let's go visit Doggy. Boop, boop. Okay. Oh, I don't have enough money. You're pleasantly surprised to meet your old friend while waiting for a train. She's undoubtedly changed a lot since you've last seen her. These days, she's moderating a web forum dedicated to the paranormal. Maybe she knows something useful? Well, let's take her out for coffee. In between conspiracy theories and Bigfoot sightings, you hear a worrying rumor about an old god slowly awakening to rule the earth once again. Oh, I have a new level. So, discipline. Regain 1 stamina for all past adventure skill checks. Fast swimmer, faster offensive actions. Art knowledge, +1 to perception. I am going to choose discipline, and I am going to get +4 to my stamina, so let's see. Alright. It's a bad time to be out of cash, says the grim-looking man who's standing in your way. Our company fortunately specializes in cases like yours and will gladly help you get back on track. After all, he takes a step closer and you swear there is a faint smell of rust around the man. Everyone has something to sell. So a jar of blood, a fondest memory, or peace of mind. I think might as well give them my fondest memory. Everything suddenly gets dark. You feel sad, but can't even tell why. In your pocket, you find an envelope with cash inside. So we're going through the forest, searching. You follow the faint sound to a telephone line pole. The moment you notice giant hairy balls underneath it, they start to twitch and rise. A Tatoru. Tatoru tries to kiss you with its giant lips. Ew! In the forest, you hear faint whimpering in the distance. When you find it, you discover a wild dog held by the hind leg in a bear trap. The dog growls menacingly when you get closer. I'm gonna help you out. Aww. Dog is free, but the rusty mechanism snaps shut on my hand. Ouch. Feeling like you are on the brink of losing your mind, you decide to visit your parents' old friend, Father Yasugi. Hey, kiddo, says the priest who's currently moving some boxes in and out of the church building. Could you lend me a hand? I'm gonna lend him a hand. Lifting the box, you feel your back cracking, but you manage to get it all over with relatively quickly. Afterwards, Father Yasugi invites you inside for a cup of hot tea and home-baked cookies made by one of the parishioners. You explain your situation to him. The priest listens, letting you vent all of your doubts and anxiety. Aw, that was nice of him. A parasitic organism burrows under the bark, undulating slowly. Ew. The bark is flabby and sticky and makes you recoil in horror. Finally, after what felt like hours of following the dirt road, you find the old mansion. It's completely overgrown with plants you've never seen before. In front of the mansion, there's the gardening company minivan filled with boxes. Slowly, you enter the building with caution. You stand in the middle of the room when suddenly the floor gives up and you fall down to the basement. Falling through the hole in the floor, you find yourself in an overgrown basement. In the corner lies a man you recognize. It's Shiro-san, the missing gardener. You must help him escape this cursed place. You've defeated Shiro-san? Vines whip you, covering your exposed skin in deep lacerations. You cry in pain, dropping the body of Shiro-san. There's no way you'll be able to save him. With a heavy heart, you run, leaving the man you were supposed to protect behind. Preparing for the worst, people are stocking up on everything, making it harder for you to find what you want. There's another key. I'm gonna take a hot bath. Looks like I gained another level, so I am going to, let's see, so leadership, +1 to charisma, faster offensive items. I'm gonna do faster offensive and another, I'm gonna do reason instead of stamina. The search for a missing person continues in the forest surrounding Shiokawa. If you have any information, please contact the police department. Okay, so The Chilling Chronicle of a Crimson Cape. A new game is spreading among your friends. A dare to stay in the unused school restroom after classes. A dare to meet Akamanto. What was originally a harmless fun has turned deadly. The body of a boy was found last week. The school principal has banned the game, but that only made it more popular. Akamanto must be stopped before another kid is killed. One of your friends says he doesn't believe in curses and he intends to complete the dangerous dare. Alright, so I've got a new student A joining me. Hey, Takahashi, she says, looking over you with her brows furrowed. Are you doing okay? You've been acting really weird lately and you look super tired. You tell her that you're just stressed out because of finals. She expresses some sympathy and offers to help you study. You say, sure, but it's a promise you'll break. It's better that she doesn't know about it for her own sake. You can handle this on your own, just like you always do. Alright, so with your friend safe for now, you should look into the legend. Maybe records in the city's library make mention of Akamanto. Your friend has asked you to meet them at a certain secluded location. Getting there, you find a telescope with a note signed by your friend. The note tells you to look through the telescope. You don't see anything at first. Then, you notice it. The bloated body of Ath Yolazith is getting closer. Alright, I'm gonna go visit the doggo. And I am going to... Whoops, I don't have enough for the flashlight, but I do have enough for the sewing kit. I thought I did. I got a milk bottle. Alright, we'll check the hospital. Someone has been branding the patients with occult symbols. Branded like cattle. What you thought was just a discarded pile of clothes suddenly moves. As it stands up, a cloud of white powder is released into the air. A forgotten specimen. Hihonoza? I don't know. You shouldn't use cursed scissors in combat. Wait, what's that? A lump of flesh. Ooh. Use, get 5+ stamina and adds new status. Hoo boy. You know what? Slimy and smelly, what is it? It's pulsating slowly in your hand. I'm gonna use it. You've gained a new status. Branded. Chance of raising doom each investigation. Hoo boy. The principal has ordered the school to be closed down for the investigation. The roads seem to twist and turn when you're not looking, trapping you in the neighborhood. The cursed toilet is located on the 3rd floor. Get over there. Alright, investigate the cursed toilet time. A masked man dressed in a red coat, clearly too tall for the ceiling, emerges from outside. Tell me, his voice sounds like a faulty radio. Would you like red paper or blue paper? I don't want anything from you. It's getting darker. The tall man in the red coat slowly takes their mask off as stall walls wither and rot and reality starts to crumble. Basking in the dying sun's morbid glow, your corpse continues to twist and warp, bringing you closer to your primordial perfect form. Soon, the herald will take you to the shattered court where you will perform and sing mad songs until the end of time itself. You've perished. Cause of death lost in the otherworld. Alright. So, that was a failure. Alright, Goizo. Okay, so we've got a male student now. And he's a photographer. And let's see what sort of mysteries are happening. Alarming account of abnormal arms. Horrible history of household hell. Macabre memoir of morbid mermaids. Spine-chilling story of school scissors. Bloody brief of a beckoning bulletin. As the decades rolled on, technology has only developed further. These days, computer bulletin board software allows computers to communicate over phone lines. All it takes is a computer and a modem, and anybody can connect to a bulletin system or even host one of their own. Once you connect, you can read all of the messages on that bulletin, and even post your own to start a conversation. Many use them to share files, or to chat about their favorite topics, everything from video games to sports to idol culture. But in the wake of a sudden string of weird suicides, things aren't all fun and games. Rumors have surfaced that the deaths are linked to a bulletin system operated from somewhere within Shiokawa. What is behind the suicides? How could so many people all be driven to take their own lives? Okay, so investigate the forest location twice to complete this quest, so I will do that. And I will help the doggo. Aw, man. After searching deep in the woods for some time, you discover the body of a young student clutching a note. I write this for everyone wanting to stay behind. The sacrifice is worth it. Life's meaning comes from our relationships. Shared death and that connection will outlast you. There won't be anything left but us. Everyone here is waiting for you, so if you lose your resolve, just listen to the voice of humanity. ... You back off from the toilet as the door slowly opens. A girl in a tattered uniform is standing there. Her head twists unnaturally as she makes a roaring, rattling noise. A door behind you slams shut. Oh, snap. Corpse dust. Well, the the school's library computer doesn't have a modem, you happen to bump into a member of the computer club while asking around. She apparently just got a new system and is willing to let you borrow hers. Thanking her, you arrange to meet her at her home in the city. Something is wrong. You don't see anyone on the street, and you could have sworn it was crowded just a minute ago. You better hurry out of here. You lug the cardboard box full of PC parts up your apartment stairs, teeth clenched as you heave it up one step at a time. God damn, our computer's heavy. Let's go visit the doggo. Okay, so let's see. 2 funds for the flashlight. I've already got a camera, so I decided to buy myself a flashlight. A woman jumps out of her apartment covered in gore. Between sobs, she tries to explain what happened. She was taking a shower when suddenly the shower head started spraying blood. A trail of blood leads into the dark apartment. You don't enter the bathroom. Instead, you go straight to the building's boiler room. One pipe coming from the ground looks like it was welded to the central system recently. Where does it lead? You wipe the sweat from your brow as you finally finish setting up the computer in your bedroom. After a few tests, you're now certain that everything is functional. The newscaster on the TV says the suicide rate is still climbing. Worse, the morbid trend is beginning to catch on in nearby towns. You need to act quickly. Goizo. Oh wow, we got ourselves a new ally, Maria. A haunted artist, +1 cigarette for each defeated enemy. Maria grabs your arm. You know, they say this hospital is haunted, but that's just an urban legend. You overhear 2 nurses talking about a girl whose suicide attempt failed. Apparently she's recovering at her grandparents' home in the village in the city outskirts. You exit the hospital and make your way to the nearest bus stop. As you pull into the village bus stop, a news story comes on the bus driver's radio. An entire class of Shiokawa students leapt in front of a train hand in hand. You move urgently as you exit the bus and begin searching down the village streets. You've stumbled upon a forgotten bookstore in a small alley. The interior is cluttered with dusty old tomes, animal bones, weird vials, and stuffed exotic animals you don't even recognize. Can I help you? Asks the tiny man behind the counter. I have things that will surely help you in your quest. I can't really buy anything right now, so I'm just gonna say, just looking. Take your time and see you soon. When you find the girl's house, her grandparents greet you solemnly. They thank you for your effort to stop the deaths. Forgive her, her grandfather says as he leads you to her bedroom. She's a kind girl. Something has happened to her. The recovering girl is more than happy to not only confirm the bulletin's existence, but to give you its number. You have to do what it tells you. Trust me, you won't regret a thing. She beams at you as her grandmother struggles to make her swallow the pain medication. I'll be back to join you all soon. Wait for me, okay? Disquieted, you give the grandparents your phone number and hastily leave. No one answers when you knock at Professor Takeuchi's door. This is odd, since he is normally punctual about his appointments. The smell of blood tells you that something's wrong, and you quickly open the door and make your way inside. There's no sign of the professor, but the quantity of blood everywhere leaves little doubt as to what has happened. But how? And why? You notice a book lying on the floor. You pick it up to find that 4 pages have been torn out. You memorize the title of the book. Why would someone take them, and what did they contain? As soon as you arrive home, you dial the number and put the handset onto the modem. Your heart pounds as the computer fans exhale. The system hums. You hear a brief dial tone, and then it finally connects. Okaeri nasai. Kimi wa suki desu ka? I'm glad. Take your phone off the modem and put it to your ear. You recall the note you found. Could this be the voice of humanity you read about? Bracing yourself, will you slowly put the phone to your ear? You don't hear words or a voice. You will soon understand they don't need those. It's difficult, but you manage to keep track of which thoughts are yours and which are theirs. Everyone is here now. We've escaped everything that held us back in life. We don't have any more burdens. You can escape with us. This is the purest form of existence, a paradise of connection. Everyone deserves that. We will bring all humanity together. You need to think carefully about how to respond. You can't save everyone. Suffering is human. I don't want to die. Suffering. How can you believe that? Well, okay, if you want to suffer, go ahead. Your consciousness dips. By the time you snap out of it, you're strangling yourself with the phone cord. The entity assaults your mind, but the struggle brings out strength you didn't know you had. You refuse to die. You listen to the staticky signal on the other end. It's harsh to your ear. But then the noise begins to slowly change into something beautiful. You want to join it. Cut artery, oh jeez. Warning, you will die at the beginning of your next encounter. You've got enough experience to level up. Alright. Let's see. Arcane Grasp tilts 2 additional spell slots. Improvise, throwing items during combat encounters is more effective. Quick thinking dexterity. Let's see. I'm gonna raise my stamina, obviously, and I am going to select Improvise. You look like you could use a smoke. You wrench the phone from your ear, nearly tossing it across the room. You could have killed yourself for that thing. Sweat pouring down your face, you immediately yank the computer's plug from your socket. From the bulletin's number in a phone book, you find the system operator's address. When you enter the cramped apartment, you're met with a smiling, hanged teenager and a still-running, unplugged computer. You smash it to pieces. With the root cause gone, the suicides eventually slow. While you couldn't save those already in its thrall, you're relieved to know that the bulletin won't take any more victims. The old god stirs. The friendly dog disappeared last night. You will have to find a new place to buy equipment. Aww. Okay, so alarming account of abnormal arms. I remember when it started. The woman next door was strangled to death in her bed with no sign of forced entry. The killer was never found and the apartment remained vacant. The door to her apartment was closed and she lived alone. What other ways in are there? So I need to investigate the hospital twice. Going to go and get myself okay, I can't do that, but I can treat my broken nose. Alright, so now I'm in less danger. Stop right there! You hear a voice coming from behind you. You won't destroy my life's work! Yeah, we're getting out of here. You notice the odd placement of ventilation shafts. They seem too small for anyone to crawl through, though. You reach the spot where you and the interviewee agreed to meet, and sure enough, she's waiting for you there. She looks nervous, more than just being alone with you. You're certain she knows something about what happened in that recent missing persons incident. You act calmly, sweetly, and like you're a little stupid, goading her into letting her guard down. Before long, she believes you are on her side, and confides with you about the last time she saw the missing person. Not wanting to wait for an elevator, you decide to take the rarely used stairs. You suddenly trip but grab the railing in the last second. When you get up to inspect what caused you to trip, you freeze in terror. It is slowly standing up. Running! Running! One neighbor is complaining about her underwear missing. While looking around the ransacked room of your recently deceased friend, you discover a half-finished painting of a woman, her skin a ghastly pale yellow color. The scene is disturbing. You struggle to look at it. Unintimidated by the painting, it gives you new insight into the madness that possessed your friend. Second neighbor is complaining about weird noises coming from the vents when she's at home. It's a bad time to be out of cash, says the grim-looking man who's standing in your way. Our company fortunately specializes in cases like yours and will gladly help you get back on track. After all, he takes a step closer and you can swear there's a faint smell of rust around the man. Everyone has something to sell. Let's give him some peace of mind. The man smiles, handing you an envelope. You feel like you've made a huge mistake. Wandering through an empty corridor, you find an old vending machine. You don't recognize the brands of sodas inside, but you could really use a drink. I'll get the cheap one. Dexterity check. You buy a can of off-brand soda, and when you reach for it, something inside the machine catches your hand. You have to jerk it out, injuring yourself. Ugh. Every room is connected by vents coming from the unused boiler room. Could it be? You enter the dark boiler room and trip over the pipe. Cursing, you find a light switch and gasp in horror. It's not a pipe at all. It's a long, rubbery arm coiling around the room and ending in a ventilation shaft. Coming closer, you can smell something vile and rotten. You almost fall to the ground when you see the wide-open stare of the dead pervert, his elongated limbs stretching and disappearing in the vent's darkness. Inside his mouth, you find a tiny key. After the police have arrived, the whole building was searched. Following the arms, the detectives find the body of a man stuck in the ventilation shaft. Later, he is identified as the building caretaker. In his closet, police find pieces of underwear and voyeur photos of the tenants. You are questioned thoroughly and eventually released as the murder case is being covered up as a case of an unfortunate gas leak. Alright, so we managed to get ourselves another level up. Okay, so I am going to select Hot Bath, and I am going to raise my stamina. The old god stirs. Roads leading out of town were closed by the police. You'll have to find a new way out. Okay, we're gonna do the horrible history of household hell. There are many old mansions around this town. Maru 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 Manor is one of them, supposedly haunted by the family of 4 who disappeared without a trace one summer. But is it the only tragic event that took place there? Friends you've talked with are not sure where the mansion itself is located. You have to find the mansion first. A trip to the library may shed some light on it. Crabs are feasting on a bloated corpse carried to the beach by waves. Reaching for the body, you're attacked by several crabs that don't want to share their meal. Burning Man. An old wound reopened. Wait, what's that? More corpse dust. Can your nostrils get haunted? The statuette is surprisingly heavier than it looks. Mesmerized, you take it home and wonder where you'll display it. It's a bad idea. You make it through the window. This is the abandoned mansion that your friends have talked about. Let's explore it. Oh damn, we are losing blood. We are not going to do that well. Yep, resisting the unknown horror was taking its toll on your health. Weakened, you finally succumb to your injuries alone. As the dust settles upon your open eyes, reality starts to crumble. The old god is ready to return once more. Oh well. Still trying. Kuthak Atarasu. Why did you sign that contract? +1 max reason at the end of the mystery. If you don't have at least 2 followers, lose 2 reason. He's looking for you. Okay, so it looks like we need to gather some allies. Okay, Mega Mercs? Mega Merc? Okay. Horrible history of household hell, spine-chilling story of school scissors, eerie episode of evolving eels, freaky feature of found footage, and far-out fable of a fear festival. Alright, let's do the found footage. 3 students disappeared in the process of making a documentary about local folklore and legends of the nearby forest. Now, on the first anniversary of the event, a suspicious man has started asking questions. He claims to be a private investigator hired by the parents of the students. Except the parents of your friends didn't hire him. Who is he? And what did the students discover out there? Alright, so I've got a new ally, Kazumi. So they're a nurse, cheaper street treatment and surgery actions. Kazumi looks around. Did you hear the... Never mind. Okay, so I'm gonna travel to school. See if I can recruit an ally. Did you hear there's a cliff nearby with strangely shaped holes? She hasn't come to school since last week. Have you heard about this computer program that... Okay, so student C is now joining me. And now we are going to investigate the school. Whoa! The notes mention a village not far from your town. You decide to take a bus. Getting closer, you can't help but notice a large number of trees that have suddenly died. What happened here? Okay, so we need to investigate the mansion. Putting your hand in that hole was a bad idea. Seeing the big spider escape, you hope it wasn't poisonous. There's a local legend about a heartbroken seamstress. One stormy night, she broke into a local inn and stitched the unsuspecting guests together. Her final gruesome artwork. But that's just a legend, right? I found you at last. The legends say the witch was buried alive for kidnapping and murdering 2 children. It points you in a specific direction, potentially saving you some time. Well, let's get some items. Okay, so... we don't have a weapon, but let's see. How about I get myself a flashlight. And I get a discounted item randomly. And a blue gem. It vibrates slightly in your hand. Everyone in the village is unsettlingly friendly. An old farmer points you to an old stone. The missing group supposedly started their forest trip there. Mr. Yokoyama, your new manager, corners you. The previous one mysteriously disappeared a few months ago. My dearest Mizuki, long time no see. His breath stinks like rotten meat. Our parent company in Tokyo desperately needs new material. Something thrilling and exciting. He smiles. New blood. Tattoo? Splendid! Mr. Yokoyama claps loudly. I even know an artist willing to do a certain design. It might be a bit painful, but I'm sure that everyone will love it. So I am now tattooed, and items in the shop are cheaper by 1. Looking back one last time, you continue deeper into the woods. You discover an old campsite located on the edge of a small clearing. The tent has been knocked down and the food and utensils have been scattered everywhere. The sleeping bag has been torn to shreds. You find a wallet nearby. There's no ID card inside, but you're sure the absence of cash is the least of the missing owner's problems. It's said that a famous priest died on this rock. Perhaps his mysticism has seeped into it. Disturbed by your surroundings, you take a step back and trip on a branch. Walking through the forest, you spot a pair of legs sticking out of a bush. Before you can do anything, however, they twitch and move. The invisible web prevents you from running from this encounter. Oh, jeez. Aw, man. The flashlight's beam reveals additional symbols hidden in the shadows. They help you interpret the spell instruction drawn on the cave's wall. So we now have a new spell. Enthrallment. Gain an additional follower, discard on use. Wet splash behind you makes you stop. You slowly turn around to see a young girl slowly walking in your direction. In her eyeball, there's a swarm of disgusting worms. One of them falls to the floor with a wet splash. Oh, man. The rumored witch house seems empty. In the basement, however, you find a camera pointed at the large hole in the ground. On the table next to the camera, you see 3 cassettes, each titled after one of the missing friends. Then, you hear a curious sound coming from the hole. Not being able to deal with it, you decide to grab the tapes and run. You wander aimlessly through the woods for a few hours until you are found by a search party. You lead them to the house, but the door to the basement is missing. The case remains open. The old god stirs. A minor earthquake in the seaside region has revealed an entrance to a partially flooded cavern system. Local scientists believe some of the corridors could be man-made. Alright, let's take a look at the other mysteries we have available. The Far-Out Fable of a Fear Festival. Your aunt had sent you a letter inviting you for a curious-sounding festival. It's held every 27 years in a small village. You don't like the sound of it, but your parents both agree you need a break from all the stress. Inside the letter, there's a bus ticket. What's the worst thing that could happen, you ask yourself as you board the bus? Just when you thought your stomach couldn't handle it anymore, the janky old bus stops at its destination. You get up and take a deep breath before looking around. It's a small village, and the nearby fields are surrounded by a thick forest. A fat man wearing dusty overalls approaches you. It's the inn owner who promised to pick you up. Following close behind him, your eyes are drawn to his hands, which are so deformed they resemble claws more than hands. Your group has arrived in the village and is currently unpacking at the inn, giving you some time to explore. The festival begins at evening. To progress this mystery, choose actions that will advance the plot. As you learn more about the terrible secret of the village, more actions will unlock. Inn's room is dusty like it hasn't seen any visitors in years. You wonder if anyone cleaned it since the last festival 27 years ago. There's a folder of available activities lying on the table. Onsen. Hot spring feels great. Finally, you can relax for a bit and enjoy the warm water. But should you be resting at all? Festival grounds is now open for visitors. Walking through the village, you're suddenly pulled behind a building. Two menacing-looking masked figures block your escape. Do you serve the Old Ones? Yes, or serve what? Masked men are visibly puzzled. Sorry to bother you, says one, and they disappear around a corner. What was that about? Enjoy the festival. There's still some time before the festival starts. The locals are seemingly busy setting up stands and decorating the place. A few stands are already open, but you can't shake off the feeling that something is wrong. It's getting late. Ah, puppy! I will buy myself a hoppy. It's a nice pattern. A weird sound wakes you up. You step closer to the window and look out. You can't see anything and get ready to go back to bed when suddenly the moon comes from behind the thick clouds. 3 hooded figures are standing at the forest's edge. One by one, they light their torches and disappear behind the trees. What was that about? They all wore strange masks. Should you follow them into the forest or try to find more information about the festival? Weird sounds coming from the forest kept you up at night. What could it all mean? An old priest is performing a ritual to appease a local demon imprisoned underground. You're invited to join them. Ugh. Going back to the inn, you overhear 2 masked villagers. They are talking about something awakening up at the next dawn. You wonder what's up with that. You decide to block entrance to your room with a nightstand. Festival is ending tomorrow and you can't be too careful. The suspicious group you've been following. Oh, I got 100 points. So quick thinking is +1 dexterity. Parting gift is letting allies go grants a permanent bonus to one of your stats. Occult sign, small experience bonus for casting spells. You know what, I'll do that, and let's see. I think what I will do is I will add more to my stamina. The suspicious group you've been following is gathered in a nearby forest. They're enacting some sort of ritual in a clearing up ahead. The only nearby vantage point is a large rock. Oops. Why is it so quiet all of a sudden? Is that blood? Where is everybody? Trail of blood and sickly smelling sludge leads to an outskirt of the village. Somewhere in the dark forest, there's an answer waiting for you. Drooping tree branches hang over the path, framing it in an almost macabre way. It's almost inspiring. You follow the faint sound to a telephone line pole. The moment you notice the giant hair... Abandoned factory. This must be the place where they took everyone. While exploring the factory, you are caught by masked people you've seen from an inn's window. Tied up, they bring you to the cult leader. We knew you'd come. You hear a raspy voice, your aunt's voice, coming from behind the priest's weird mask. She signals towards the door behind him. Our master is awaiting for a final blood sacrifice. Whoa. With a loud bang, the ancient horror disappears and the high priest falls to the floor, grabbing their shoulder. The last thing you see before blacking out are the beams of flashlights and a hand of a police officer saving you from a fall. Later that day, detectives interrogating you are confused when you tell them about the ritual, blood, and eldritch being. The village is abandoned with no trace of blood anywhere. You were the only ones seeing the ancient horror. While you couldn't catch the leader of the cult to interrogate them, the people are safe. You board the old bus, wondering what would happen if you didn't stop the rituals in time. The old god stirs. Oh, the friendly dog disappeared last night. Oh. Tasty. +2 to stamina. Okay, so let's do the eerie episode of Evolving Eels. Okay, so we need to investigate the seaside twice, but let's check the hardware shop. Hey, how's it going, Ultra Quinox? Ooh. Shocked, you see countless tiny eels crawling out of your friend's eye in all directions. Would Kana even survive the blood loss? You rush to the hospital with Kana, getting a lot of attention from horrified people. Your friend is taken immediately to the operating theater, and you collapse on a chair in the waiting area. Wake up, dude. You've been sleeping for over 3 hours. You groggily open your eyes to see your friend. Kana is wearing an eye patch. Not so pretty anymore, eh? I couldn't exactly tell the doctors the truth about what happened, and I'm pretty sure I won't be winking with my left eye anytime soon, but thank you for saving my life. You still process the events of the previous night, corpse-eating eels that lay their eggs in eyes. Sitting with your friend Kana before your apartment building, you watch the police officers emptying your neighbor's place. The old god stirs. Contaminated water. Oh, crap. We can't take a bath now. I'm gonna add reason and art knowledge. Okay, we're gonna do the spine-chilling story of school scissors. Oof, what's that? A lump of flesh. I'm gonna use it. That encounter was the final straw. Your mind has snapped, and you've been locked up in an asylum. That would be comforting to accept that you were insane, that no old god is awakening to devour humanity. But the drugs haven't made these horrors disappear. So I unlocked a new achievement. Let's see. For followers. Alright, we'll do one more time. See what happens. Alexandria, 48 BC. Itotsu. The supposed cause of destruction of the Library of Alexandria, a perfect black marble statue, has been recently rediscovered and is currently waiting in the museum of our town for its premiere. Alright, so... Alright, let's see what mysteries we've got now. Macabre memoir of morbid mermaids. The janitor was obsessed with mermaids. He's collected every scrap of the legend about them in the school basement. Now his mind has snapped. He's decided it's time to make one of his own using unfortunate students' bodies as materials. Ocean is hungry. You're stopped by a person with a knife. They look incredibly sad. It wants me. but I'm afraid I'm too much of a coward to do it myself. Can you help me? After a long conversation, they hand you the knife and thank you. Oh wow, a ritual dagger. This summoning ritual must be stopped at all costs. Painkillers. Be careful not to overdose these. Seeing the two chopped off heads, you can't help but wonder who's been preparing your food for the past week. There was something in your version of the events that didn't add up. You've been detained, but due to the lack of evidence, the police let you go after 48 hours. Asking around the neighborhood got you some results. It seems that all the girls have attended the same school. Getting access to the student database would certainly speed up your investigation, but the receptionist would never allow it, if only there was a way to make her go away for a while. You weren't able to convince the receptionist to let you access the database. This has been a waste of time. All missing girls were apparently members of the school swimming team. Maybe someone saw the kidnapper stalking them. Suddenly, everything slows to a crawl. Ah, the Time Warper. You find a notebook containing handwritten and detailed notes about the swimming club itself and mermaids. A nauseating stench stops you. Someone has scattered rotting fish guts everywhere and hung up countless fish heads. You cover your mouth as you slowly retreat. A vast flock of seagulls outside viciously attack the windows. Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum! Whoever the kidnapper may be, they seem to be really obsessed about mermaids. Inside the science labs, you find a plan of the town's sewer system. Someone has marked a path leading from the sea directly to the school building. It certainly feels good to be back at home. You take a short nap on your bed. You sit on a couch and read your favorite book. The investigation is starting to take a toll on your health. You're starting to you feel like you're about to fall asleep standing up. How do you address your weakened state? The world may be falling apart, but you really needed that. There's something wrong here. A weird apathy seems to infect every adult you ask for help. You will have to deal with it alone. Stop right there! You hear a voice coming from behind you. You won't destroy my life's work. You compare with a sewer plan with a school map, and it suddenly dawns on you. School basement! That must be the place the kidnapper's keeping missing swimmers. You enter the art workshop. The room is cluttered with half-finished sculptures and bizarre masks hanging on the wall. One sculpture strikes you as eerily realistic. Let's check out the masks. One mask looks similar to the design you once saw in an occult book. You decide to take it with you. +1 damage against human enemies. Yeah, no. There's no turning back now. God, let's hope she's alright. You bust through the door to the janitorial closet, but it's already too late. The latest missing girl is lying on a dirty mattress. The upper part, at least. The tail of a fish has been crudely sewed in place of her legs. She was too weak and died, you hear the mad janitor say. He looks you up and down. Maybe you'll do. Not giving up after the previous failure, the obsessed janitor has found another body to experiment on. You. Mad janitor's body slumps to the floor. You pick up his axe, and, using it as a crutch, you try to leave the room. Injured and weakened, you slowly lose consciousness on the school corridor. Police officers find you a few hours later. No trace of the mad janitor is found, but you will sleep a little better tonight knowing that the other students are safe. Okay, so I'm going to get hot bath and knowledge. Right, and this is now solved. The old god stirs. Dangerous bands of rioters are gathering around downtown area. The police are hopeless. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to save and exit, and we will find somebody else to raid. So give me 1 second, I'll find out who is streaming right now. Okay, let's see. Shellshock Prime is playing Dino Crisis. So, let's give him a shout out. And then we'll do the raid. Alright, so everybody, I will next be streaming on Thursday night, so I hope to see you then, and I hope you all have a good night.